I just want to make a quick vid. I've just listened to the radio about there's an MP saying that yeah, research and numbers have just shown that they're predicting that the current generation coming through, the so-called millennials, are going to be the fattest generation that this our planet, our country, Western civilization has ever produced, and that's fucking horrendous, I think. The movement that the MP wants to, this MP that's talking about it wants to do, is to stop food companies from advertising junk foods during kids' TV shows, which potentially is a good idea. We all know that advertising works. But where I think they're missing a trick here is that they're looking to blame advertising companies, but kids don't do the shopping. Kids don't cook. Parents do the cooking. It's people like me. They're aiming this, I think, at like primary school kids. I've got primary school kids. If you're watching this and you've got primary school kids, then really this is being aimed at us. And I think it's MP shouldn't be having to take responsibility for this. Our children learn to eat through us. They don't learn to eat at schools. MPs don't decide what our kids do and don't eat. As parents, that's our job. There are exceptions to every rule, and I get that everyone's body is different, but when you're looking at a whole generation of children that are coming forward that are going to be majority overweight, that's fucking terrible. That is, we as us, as our generation, have got to be a generation of really badly nutritionally educated people if the majority of kids that we are producing are going to be overweight. I know where it's going wrong is our parents are the people that were raised with convenience foods. You had the post-war generation, and then you had our generation coming on from them, or the generation after, where they started to have the convenience food, freezer foods. Iceland and Finders became a thing. My childhood was full of Finders crispy pancakes and shit like that. And they taught us how to eat. And now our children are learning from us, and food's just become more convenient. It's just become more easy. We learned from our parents, and then our laziness and our ease with technology is then rubbing off onto our children. Children that now don't go out because it's easier to look at a tablet. So look, I think what we need to do culturally is we need to fucking change. This MP's talking about that there are 17 different types of cancer that can be completely avoided through not being obese. And yet we're raising a generation that is going to have those sorts of fucking risks. It's mind-blowing. If your child is overweight, there may be other reasons, but if it's just because of piss poor choices, then that's really bad. If your child's coming home every day and spending 4, 5, 6 hours glued to a tablet, put the fucking tablet down. Get outside, get them doing stuff. The habits you teach them are what they are going to take on to life, as they're older. That's what they're then going to teach their kids. If you make exercise, if you make healthy eating an everyday part of their life when they're young, they will grow up with that being their norm. This isn't MP's responsibility. We need to be taking responsibility for this. If you're watching this video, you've got access to the internet. If you're not sure about exercising options or how to make it daily life, if you're not sure about eating, if you're genuinely looking for help, you can ask people. You've got the internet. You're looking at something on the internet right now. You can research. You can reach out to people. You can go to a health food shop and say, "Oh, look, I'm a bit stuck. I want to make some changes to my life. I'm a bit worried about how my kid's going to grow up." But we need to be collectively really taking responsibility for this, because I see our job as parents is to, it is like any species, it's to set your young up to be able to go out into the world with the best possible start, survival of the fittest and all that. It's really basic species survival stuff, but it's almost like we're setting them up to fail, and that really scares me. There's a lot, it seems to be a lot of people with the best interests or not, are not setting their children up to be the best that they can be. And it needs to change. It's really quite sad and quite scary, if you see your kids coming home and spending hours and hours a day on a tablet. Why not say, you can earn that time on the tablet, but first we're going out for a bit. First we're going to go and kick a ball around. Doesn't have to be expensive. First we're going to go out for a jog around the block. First we're going to go for a little bike ride. For the price of a tablet, you can buy a couple of second-hand bikes, no problem. You can. This doesn't have to be expensive. There's always, there doesn't have to be any excuses. There are no real costs. There's no changes financially to eating well as to eating junk food. That's a complete myth. I've just had to reach out and say something, because I find it really worrying that we're raising generations where being massively overweight is the norm. Being at high risk of fucking heart disease, strokes, these 17 types of cancer that they keep going on about on the radio. All of that can be avoided. Why as a society are we accepting this as a potential future for our children? It's not on. And if you need help, if you need guidance, if you need to re-educate yourself, you reach out, ask people, find people that are doing what you want to do, or what that you think may have made the changes, or are living how you want to live. Speak to people, use the internet, pick up a book, just do something. But we, as a society, we can't ignore this anymore. It really is shocking to see. We should be doing the best for our children, and if the majority of them that are coming through now are going to grow up overweight, then we're just not doing that, and that needs to change. So lead by example. If you lead a fit and healthy life, or if you make changes to your life, your children are going to pick up on that, and hopefully the next generation can carry that through. But it just can't carry on as it is. So at the risk of sounding a bit cliche, be the change you want to see. Anyway, got to go and walk the dogs, and it's fucking cold outside, so got that little rant off my chest. I hope you pick up on it. Take care.